If you think about last year, 2010, there was earthquakes and volcanoes and wars and a massive oil spill and midterm elections and all sorts of things last year were pretty bad. It was not a great year in a whole lot of ways. But I'm going to go out on a limb and predict, and I can never get proved wrong, that sort of 300 years from now, when they write the history books, the thing that will last into those history books is going to be WikiLeaks. That will be the thing that is the most important. Because the world has been governed, if you think about it, pretty much forever by those who could control information, control how it's disseminated and to whom it's disseminated. And totalitarian states do that in a really obvious way. But democracies do it as well. Information is managed and sort of doled out to the population by the people who control it. And all of a sudden, it's not clear that that's going to be the case anymore. And I predict that this is going to be seen as the start of a turning point. I think the math department doesn't think you can start a point, but you get my idea. It's going to be the start of a sort of a new period, really like the invention of the printing press was the beginning of a new historical period. Right? Before the printing press, the priests got to tell you what God thought. Right? And after the printing press, you could actually read about it for yourself. And for a while at the beginning of the computer age, it looked as if computers were going to be run by a priesthood, with only a few people who were ever going to do it. And then Apple created a computer that you could have on your desk, and that opened up again. And WikiLeaks, whether you think WikiLeaks was a good idea or a bad idea, it's another huge step in that democratization of information. And we tell the kids, don't put anything online that you don't want the whole world to see. Well, somebody's just told the governments of the world that. Right? At least the government of any country that's developed enough to keep its secrets on its computers has just had a real reality shift. There's going to be an increasing downside to governments hiding things and keeping secrets, and there's going to be more and more and more just raw information out there for people to see in the public domain. And the same thing will probably happen to the banks, that would be true, and big corporations as well as government. And so the fact that there's going to be just more and more completely undigested information out there, that the government will no longer be the smart people that are supposed to know how to make sense of it and tell us what to think, it's just going to be out there. It makes it even more important that people are educated in an education that gives them some intellectual protection against the demagogues, and that sort of safety and conformity, I think, is going to be a good thing. One of the things that when life gets really confusing, people gravitate towards those demagogues, those people that will tell them all the answers. And to have the intellectual resilience not to do that is going to be really important. You think about what we hope kids will learn here, to think and to imagine and to sort of value justice in some large sense. If they can take those things out into the world and make a difference out there, then we have accomplished a whole lot. And so I just hope, as we move into the winter, etc., when you find yourself sort of bogged down in the everydayness of life at Putney, that you don't forget that what you're doing, what we're all doing here, is